Hello, folks. Welcome back to my channel. This is the World of TV Shows, and I finally have another episode review for you of Bones. And this time, we'll be reviewing the fourth episode of the first season called The Man in the Bear. What an ominous title, wouldn't you say? So, the episode originally aired on November 1st, 2005 on the Fox network. Fox. It was directed by Alan Croker and written by Kathy Reiches, Laura Wollner, as well as Elizabeth Benjamin. These three people, right? So what is this episode about? So the title kind of gives it away, so to speak, but basically, indeed, Booth and Brennan are going to be traveling to a small town in the state of Washington after some human body parts were found inside a black bear. Yes, indeed. So they're going to go there to that small town that is, it's called Aurora, Washington State. And there they're going to do, obviously, they're going to try to find out about, what could have happened. So Brandon is going to do her things while Agent Booth is going to follow a few leads of his own. He's going to do the FBI kind of, work that he usually does. And the two of them are kind of working together, obviously, right? So they're basically, helping each other, whereas Brennan works more on the identification kind of aspect of the case. Booth is basically chasing down suspects, right? In this episode, they're going to be working as well alongside the institute, obviously, the I forgot what it's called, the Jeffersonian, right? And there's going to be some package delivery in order for them to be able to kind of, work alongside each other since they are kind of far apart, right? Washington, D.C. and Washington State aren't exactly close, right? Or so I've been told. I'm not entirely sure in the map. But anyhow, they're going to be kind of cooperating a little bit with the sheriff, in that town. I forgot his name, but I'll find it, God willing, as I read the cast members. There's going to be the sheriff. There's going to be the overnight guy. His name is Charlie, who's going to be, helping with the delivery thing, shipping the packages. And then there's going to be the Jeffersonian. There's going to be a little bit of a sibling, some kind of like sibling rivalry in a way, but it's more like some competition as, a very attractive, package delivery employee is going to show up and, Hodgins and, Zach are going to be kind of competing, with each other, and try to find out who has the best shot in getting to know that person, right? And getting to, you know, basically they don't really, excuse me, they're going to be competing for attention to know which one she likes best, right? This is pretty much how it goes. And then obviously Angela is going to be there also to kind of, monitor the situation, so to speak. So it's a pretty fun episode in this regard. There's a lot of comic relief. There's a lot of humor thrown in here and there. But to go back to the main plot, the main storyline, yes, there's gonna be an element of, you know, there's gonna be something a pretty dark kind of, theme to it. I don't know if I should say it. Oh well, I think I have to say it because it's kind of the whole point of the episode. But cannibalism, right? So this is something that is there in the episode. So there might be a cannibal on the loose. So Booth and Brennan have to work extra fast and, put on the extra work to find this person before it's too late, right? So this is pretty much how it goes. So there's also going to be a ranger, I didn't mention it, some tourist guide who's a Native American and who's going to be at some point whom might be a suspect, but then as the episode goes on, you'll find out for yourselves whether, the leads that are presented are all gonna lead to something, lead to the arrest of the killer or not, right? So this is pretty much how it goes. The Man and the Bear, what did I think about it? I absolutely loved the episode, especially the whole scenery, the the trees, the forest, the woods, as you can see here from the picture. There's gonna be a lot of scenes. There are gonna be a lot of scenes in the woods. As a matter of fact, there's even gonna be a reference to the Blair Witch Project at some point, which I thought was pretty neat. Especially since I really loved this film, the Blair Witch Project, and there's gonna be this kind of similar vibe at some point. So I really enjoyed this episode, especially the whole small town scenery. The people kind of, there's more of a, I guess the community is a little bit stronger in these towns. People know each other by name sometimes, so it really kind of, adds to this kind of, I guess, friendliness, meeting people and so on and so forth. So I thought that this was pretty neat. So yeah, The Men in the Bear was pretty good, especially with the plot, with the cannibal. I thought that this was pretty scary, pretty gruesome, quite a gruesome finding. But as the episode goes on and evolves and we get to the end, it's pretty satisfying. Also, I kind of liked how, yes, at some point, a lot of people are gonna take an interest in Brennan. Being who she is, what she does. She writes books too. She wrote a book, and people are gonna be, especially Charlie. He's gonna, I believe, mention that or something, and it's kind of fun, for her to be recognized in such a small town and to be this kind of, person that, you know, draws people's attention. So I thought that this was pretty good. So yeah, I guess this is pretty much it. Also, the side storyline at the Jeffersonian with the package delivery girl was pretty funny too, especially given everything that happens up to the final twist. The end when we get the answer as to who she would choose. It was quite unexpected, as I suspect most of you would think, but yes, it was a pretty good episode. So let's move on to the actors' names before wrapping this up. So we have the main ones, obviously. Um, I'm not going to mention the main actors because they're the ones that are credited. I'm going to mention the guest starring ones. So we have Alex Carter, who plays Dr. Andrew Rigby, who is the doctor there, who I thought that, he was pretty good. He was in Washington State. I remember this actor. He's pretty good in what he does. He gets started in a few other shows, so he was pretty good. In this episode, he's gonna be working a little bit with Brennan, or at least kind of share with her his findings. So I thought that this was pretty good. Alex Carter. Then we have Margaret McIntyre, who plays Dr. Denise Randall. Was pretty good too. She was at some point, she's in the beginning. She's the I forgot what it's called, but she's gonna do an autopsy at the beginning on the bear or something like this, and it's called a specific term, as Brennan mentions. I forgot the term. I'm not gonna lie. Then we have Tom Key, who plays Sheriff Chris Scudder, who was awesome. I really liked him, especially. There are a lot of funny scenes. At some point, he's gonna be eating a burger, and Brennan is gonna say some pretty disturbing things. While somebody's eating, it's not the best thing to hear, so it's gonna be pretty funny. Then we have Steve Reeves, who plays Ranger Sherman Rivers, the ranger, the tourist guide, the Native American, who was awesome in my opinion, and especially in this episode, he played very well. So really enjoyed his performance in this episode. Then we have Rusty Joyner, who plays Charlie, the overnight guy, who's pretty fun. And I remember him from other shows as well. He guest starred in, probably, yeah. He's a pretty good actor. He's an awesome actor. Then we have K.D. Albert, who plays Tony, who is the package delivery girl, whom Hodgins and when Hodgins and Zach Addy are going to be competing to get her attention, right? Then we have Chris Shute, who plays lab worker. I kind of forgot, but I'm sure he did an awesome job. Then we have Joe Davis, who plays a security guard, who's uncredited. Then Mike Gunther as Adam Langer, who is uncredited as well. So those are the main actors. So really enjoyed their performance, and the whole episode was awesome. So if I were to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd definitely give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. One of my favorite episodes of the season, of the show in general. Really liked it. Especially I like, bears too. I love animals. And the black bear, obviously, yes, it's an endangered species, if I'm not mistaken. And there's going to be, I didn't mention it, but I'll end with that probably. But there's going to be some kind of poaching theme in this episode, and it kind of raises awareness as to why these animals need to be protected from poaching and things like that, and that they should be protected at all costs, because these are beautiful animals. And that, yeah, I like this kind of awareness, kind of Greenpeace, similar like-minded thinking. I like that with animals. So 9.5 out of 10 for me. Love this episode. What about you, folks? What did you think about this episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next review. In the meantime, folks, stay safe. Goodbye. Take care. This is the World of TV Show signing off.